everyone. This is Vinay. Many of you know about the database are being developed on the row basis structurally, but we have another oriented database is called column oriented. So today we are discussing about row versus column oriented databases structure model. Let's begin. So this was a very known thing, row-oriented databases. These will get stored by their in a database row by row. For an example, here three guys are there. The three guys, Matt, Dave, and Tim. These guys' details, name, city, and age, are getting stored as a row by row. And once the database details has been inserted in backend, those three rows will get stored in a disk as like the second picture. So it will be a single row with the individual row data. So let a point, if a new fork has been inserted like a gen, the gen has been inserted, so at that time the recent inserted data will be appended to the structure of the row. So nothing but row oriented database will always get stored in the disk in a row level or a row based. So this is a known thing, and just ulta. Similarly, the column oriented database will look like this. So this the same. Let us take the same example, column oriented database. The same details will get stored in this way. So if you see here, those three guys, Matt, Dave, and Tim, these three guys earlier details are stored as a row by row, but if you see here, these details are stored as a column by column. That means instead of Matt Los Angeles 27, now it is getting stored Matt Dave Tim. That means names has been added, letter point city details, letter point age details. Now if we are going to add a new resource or a new employee, Jen, those details will be added as a column oriented. That means gen will be appended at the name section and city will be appended at the city section and the age. So like this, the column oriented and the row oriented database will be classified or distributed, we can say. So finally, I just want to tell the differences between the row oriented database and column oriented database. The first thing, as we know, this is a row level database, that is a column level database, and the data accessing will be happen at a row level, and that will be a column level. The storage optimization, coming to the storage or occupying space, will be much better or much optimized in the column oriented database. And the performance, coming to the performance, this was a major factor in the current situation or current world. We will prefer column oriented databases if the performance matters. And you can think in a way like, we should not go with the column oriented databases if it is not required. For an example, if we are having an application with a transaction basis, then we want to choose the row oriented databases. When we want to choose the column oriented databases means whenever we have an analytical applications. For an example, we have a matrimony application. Earlier, when it was started, they also used the row oriented databases, but going forward they have been used Vertica database. They linked with the Vertica database and the column oriented structure, where the performance gradually increased because in a matrimony website, when you create a profile, when you filled all the user specification information and you search for the matches, immediately in the milliseconds, it will pop up with hundreds of the alliances. So that that combination or that algorithm is a more faster in the column oriented database. With your specification, it is getting match with the existing details, and it will pull out all the matchup details and it will show in a matrimony website. So one of the guys in India is using the matrimony application, is using this column oriented database. So this was the high level differences between row oriented and column oriented. So this session might be useful with the basic details of row oriented and column oriented. Thank you very much.